everyone. I am Sumit. I am the founder for HeadsUp Corporation. This again, it's a great evening today, and with us we have Ashish. So I'm not going to start with an introduction for Ashish. We are just going to have a simple conversation, and from there you would understand as to what has been Ashish's career, how Ashish has spent his last 25 years after graduating from Symbiosis, what has shaped his baby, which is called as HR Shapers, also his corporate life. He has built a huge community of almost 10,000 people across the globe. So there's a lot to learn from Ashish, and on that note, Ashish, I welcome you on our platform. So this is a very young platform. We are not, there's nothing zazz about it, but we're still trying to figure out. We're trying to bring people like you who can really give us the knowledge, and to the people who are associated with HeadsUp and who would like to share their bit. So Ashish, I am going to start from a very simple thing, which is so after graduating from Symbiosis, what was the career like in terms of at that point of time? What was your career like in terms of? So I'm asking in terms of networking. So did you feel there's something called as networking which is required 25 years?
Yeah, so thanks Sumit. Thanks for giving me opportunity. So let me congratulate. So this is the way virtual relationship start. You approach me, we connected. And then this is how happening. That is always the first step. Now, whenever it start, you don't know whether what you're going to do, whether it's going to be virtual relationship or some relationship. Yeah. So I passed out. In 97, that was 93 to 97, I was in Pune. I did MBA, I did labor laws, and then came to Mumbai. Was looking for a job. I don't know how was the market that point of time, but yes, I couldn't get a job for 3 to 6 months. Then I got into consultancy.
Okay.
And if you know, or some people in this session know Dr. P.N. Singh, who was very well-known HR leader. So I worked with him. I started my career in '98, and since it was consultancy, headhunting, training, and doing some kind of workshop, not the HR conference actually. 97, 98, there were not too much HR conference. There were only like NHRD, ISTD, NIPM. Only this body used to be there. Unlike today, there are so many happening. So I was working with them, and then obviously when you work with consultancy, you are connected, right? The job is only,
Correct.
Okay, just try to know that person, That's how it started, and be it for the headhunting, be it for the recruitment, be it for workshop, training, because in the consultancy job, you always need to reach out to corporate. You don't know someone, but somehow you need to try to start building up a relationship and say, boss, okay, I have some offering, I have some product, would you like to take it?
That's right.
So this started. It was not a meaningful objective, but yeah, I think somehow from there it just got picked up.
Okay. Sure.
And then later also, after this great consultants, I worked in 2 other consultancy. One was Grey Sales and MakeSearch. So Grey Sales completely training, MakeSearch was completely headhunting. So from there, I think it just got kind of transformed, and then things started taking place.
All right. So okay, great. So starting from consultancy, and I think so when did you really thought about HR Shapers? Now, HR Shapers is such a huge community now, and it is growing at a very rapid. It's a rapid fire thing. Like it's growing very fast, right? So how did you really thought about this idea? Because nothing existed at that point of time, as you mentioned, and NHRDN was obviously one of the things. SHRM was coming in India, but how did you really thought about that the community requires something like an HR Shaper?
HR Shaper is Sumit just started in 2014 actually. Okay, and as I said, that time so many things were happening. I was connected with so many people and all. I was always kind of introvert, extrovert both. Okay, introvert in terms of reaching out from the back end. From back end with so many people. Through email and all this. And extrovert in terms of I don't no need to be shy, just reach out.
Right.
So introvert, you don't need to talk. I'm talking because I have so much of experience and confidence. But maybe if you could have been meeting me, before 15, 20 years, I may not be talking to you, kind of. So, so that was 98, 99. But the main journey started, the MTHR Global, More Than HR Global, that was founded in 2002, along with seven of us. Then two of them separated out. They parted out doing something else. Then four of us continue. Then it got built up. So today it's been 16 to 17-year-old HR body. It's again very well-known HR body.
Right.
But somehow I thought, okay, I think market is looking for something. Okay, today also market look for something else. Okay, but if you continue with XYZ, which is not the kind of the requirement of the market or the people or kind of, and that time WhatsApp came actually very new.
Right, 2014.
Yeah. 2014 WhatsApp was very new, and MTHR was actually built upon the Yahoo groups and Google groups. Those. So and those were dying actually in 2010, 12, 14.
Correct.
From there, so WhatsApp came, and but okay, there was no plan that guys, okay, HR Shaper will be HR Shaper, and this is how it should be started. It's nothing like you want to do something today, tomorrow, and you decide today. It's nothing like this. Just like going for a dinner, we never decide something will start.
Right.
So. I love going to Derby. I don't know whether you Derby or not.
Right.
And betting on the horses. Huh? Okay. And in Mumbai, one of the richest Derby race happened. In month of February. It's always first Sunday of the February.
Okay.
Very rich, almost in Asia. You get to see most of the rich people, whether from Mumbai or out of Mumbai.
Okay.
And I've been going since many years. Still go and will be going as well. And so since 2010, I have been going. And then 2014, I decided let's go with some HR guys.
Okay.
So 6-7 of us agreed. Okay, that was again. It was through phone call and all, and maybe perhaps email. So 7 of us started, and then from there, when Derby happened that day, it's Sunday, and then a group was created, WhatsApp group created. And then slowly I got up other people, and make a group of knowledge sharing only.
Right.
So there were 4 groups kind of knowledge sharing. Okay. Right. But I put one condition over there, this will be only for working HR from company and corporate.
Okay.
There was no meaning, there was no wrong intention, but just make it like this, and it's still
working
today. Yeah. Most of the members appreciate also. So our group started on the WhatsApp. We keep sharing. We pick up the daily topic, one topic, and then member keep sharing. I used to transfer all the input of one group to another group. So that's how it started. And then from there, location group, then country groups, right, and overseas group. And today, HR Shaper is around 50 groups overall, 25 India, 25 overseas. Great. Almost 15,000 people only on the WhatsApp, and then I think 10,000 on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all.
Great. Yeah, that's a story of a big community.
Yeah. And only one thing, for everyone input, and they may be knowing more than me actually. See, something may be started, but right, from there, how do you take it up is more important. Correct. So today we are connected. After today, what do we do is more important.
Right.
That's what is called the relationship.
Absolutely. That's very well put. Yeah, great. All right. So let me just get into the entire discussion, which is about networking, as we have discussed earlier. So I want you to start with basically making us understand as to what exactly networking is. For a layman, what is networking? Is it talking to someone? Is it a meeting to some stranger? Exchanging conversation? What exactly is networking? Because it's a broad concept, and people kind of fail to understand the essence of networking in itself. So that is we have to let's start with there, if you can.
Okay, great. I think that's a very nice question. So Sumit and everyone, first of all, intent has to be there. There has to be some purpose. For everything, some purpose. You need to make some purpose. Okay. Or somehow you need to get into that, and make the purpose. Like there is one statement. Okay, you make the decision, then make it right. Yeah. So as far as networking is concerned, there has to be 3-4 objectives. Okay. You want to be in a group of people. Who can be those groups? Which kind of group you want to be in? Okay, some will say I want to be in group of HR leader. Some will say I want to be in group of my own community of compensation, talent acquisition, then HR operation or XYZ. Right. Besides that, what you need to ensure that you should be very outspoken. Now, when I say outspoken, not in terms of communication, but don't be shy. In case you want to connect with someone, somehow connect. Not necessarily you're talking, because today people are there everywhere. They are there on the LinkedIn, they are there on the Twitter, Facebook, and all. Find out where they are. Okay, which kind of connection they are more comfortable with. I'm giving recent example. I'm trying to get one of the I think he's number 1 or number 2 HR guy in the consultancy, and I sent him a mail, he didn't respond. I sent him a reminder, he didn't respond.
Okay.
Then same. I just did some diagnosis and try to check out. Where is this guy? Where is more active?
Right.
Where does he check the message more actively?
Correct.
Okay, so he was there on the Twitter. So I sent him a message. Suddenly I got the response.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Likewise, some people they are reachable and approachable on WhatsApp. Some people they are reachable and approachable on Facebook. I did run a series of this employee engagement during work from home. There were almost 40 countries HR leader.
Wow.
You will not believe, Sumit, almost more than 50% HR leader I connected the first time.
Right.
They might be in my network.
Right.
First time only on the LinkedIn, Facebook or Twitter. I didn't talk to them. It was either one of the social media or WhatsApp. And everything was done, and only I saw them actually on the day of the webinar.
Great. I think this is pretty much happened to us also today.
Yeah. I mean, here, your intent has to be there. Okay, do I need to do the network or not?
Right.
How it is going to help me? Many people, they are introvert, and nothing wrong with being introvert.
Right.
But is it going to help you in getting a job? It is going to increase your knowledge. Is it going to make more satisfied? In terms of some people just look for a satisfaction. Right. I just want to go and hang out.
Yeah.
I just want to be in the group of people.
Right.
I just want to talk to some people. So if one of is your objective, just go out.
Right.
And do XYZ.
Right. Okay. Great. Okay. So
I also didn't touch upon some of the thing I was doing. I was part of the NHRD 2 or 3 times in the committee, then BMA, then BCCI,
right.
So and World HRD committee and all those were anyway. One of the great initiatives happening in NHRD is kind of Udan. Mumbai was divided into 7 zones, and then a lot of other things were happening in NHRD also.
Okay. Great. So, Ashil, you mentioned, so in your way of approaching the people, technology has played a big role, right? And if technology was not there, there wouldn't have been any session like this. Neither you would have been in a position to connect with someone who was not there in our country, or probably in our first degree or second degree of connection, right? So, so technology is definitely one thing that changed everything, and it has made even this time productive, because we cannot expect this thing to be productive. It was 20 years by everyone would be just settled in their home. So at the same time, so networking as a concept has evolved over the time, and especially in the last 3 months, where we heard the word virtual networking many times, right? So for you now, you go to so many webinars, you have so many communities who are working with you. What is a difference, if we have to really say, between physical networking and virtual networking? Now, it sounds very cliche when I'm asking you this, but obviously there are a lot of intricacies which are attached to how do you approach that. As you mentioned, the approach and discovery is so critical for networking. So if you can just throw some light on that.
So again, there is a one saying, if you can't beat them, join them. Yeah.
Correct.
So if you can't beat, virtual networking, you can join. You need to join. There is no option. Okay. Again, there was it's a joke, in social media that, okay, who brought the, digitalization in the organization or in this world? CTO, CFO, CHRO, no. It's a COVID actually, So most of the thing happen accidentally. The only thing, who take it from there is more important. Who understand and who take it as an opportunity is more important. There are various advantages of virtual, and we are going to be virtual actually for next 3 to 6 months. Today location is no constraint. Within the city, outside the city, out of India, out of overseas, we can reach out to anyone. Correct. One of the biggest transformation happening in all this webinar and conference, you must have seen even in education sector also, all the B schools and E schools, engineering schools.
Yeah.
There are a lot of international faculties now, lot of international speaker. Why? Because it's very easy to connect.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And again, many people blame Zoom and other things. Okay, but thanks to Zoom, it's happening like anything. Correct. Okay. Because otherwise there is always one question, guys. Okay, I know that guy, but how do we connect?
Correct.
Now question is, okay, I have everything in the place. How do I connect with him?
Correct.
So one is, okay, there is no limitation. You reach out to anyone. Okay, and we all know there are so many things happening only on the online. Even if you want to reach out to anybody in the government, just go on Twitter.
Correct.
If you're facing some problem with your vendor, just go on the Twitter. Yeah. Sonu Sood, how did he start his actually initiative? It's all through virtual actually, right? Going through that. And another thing is more important is, we don't need to show a lot of emotion. See, in the physical, you're talking and I'm seeing you, you're seeing me. Okay, somehow we understand the body language will change our dialogue, will change our action. In the virtual, it's not the case.
Right.
Okay, since I'm talking, so I need to always keep the camera on. Okay, but delegate doesn't need to, right? I can't see the delegate even. So that's how it is, So you can't see the emotion. It's a good part also and bad part also, but it's more on positive side.
Right.
Okay, and we don't know what's happening behind the scene.
Right.
Okay, but as far as my objective is concerned, I need to continue talking. I need to ensure people are engaged and all. So that has to be done. Yeah.
Right.
There are some disadvantage. We don't get into too much of relationship. Yeah, but that's depend. We just move on. So it's like this. Face to face is more satisfying than talking on the phone. It's more satisfying. So we need to live in the virtual world. Okay, and people are expecting all those reality as well. The virtual world is going to be reality. Look at the organization. How much digitalization they are doing.
Right.
That's actually virtually. Many companies will not have the huge offices nowadays. Online onboarding, online virtual onboarding, I would say virtual onboarding, virtual training, virtual recruitment. There are so many things happening.
Right. So yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of positives which we can take from the entire virtual game which is happening right now. And yes, it has absolutely dissolved all the boundaries which were possible. And there's so much of cross movement which is happening that no one could have really imagined. And as you rightly said, that this is not the CEO, CFO, or the CHRO, it's really COVID-19 which has given us that really food for thought that something like this can also happen. Absolutely right. Put it there. Okay. So actually what happens is that all these platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, what they've done is that you can directly connect your contacts to the LinkedIn account and then they will send the request. Now what happens is that there are a lot of contacts which you are not in touch with, right? So there is a lot of there would be a big percentage of people who you might have met sometime back in your life, but it doesn't matter right now. That person doesn't matter right now, but still that person is getting added into a network. So So there can be a lot of awkwardness when you are doing networking. It is definitely there when you're doing it physically. Probably you're approaching someone who's very big in front of you. So there's a lot of awkwardness and shyness which is there. So how should someone who is a first-time person, who is a first-time manager going into a corporate world, how he or she should really position himself so that that awkwardness is eliminated?
Okay, so again, I would say great question. So Sumit, everything drilled down in what's your objective to connect with someone, and whether that person is that kind of quality, that person is that kind of expertise or not.
Right.
Like for example, if you want to go out, you will connect with some. If you want to go out for a let's say vacation, you'll connect with tour agency, correct? So their purpose is very clear, correct? And that's how you'll talk. You'll not feel bad. You'll not have any fear.
Yeah.
Because this is my requirement and that's how I need to connect. Okay. That's how in the virtual world, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, if this guy is good in XYZ and I'm looking for expertise, I'm looking for XYZ input, and nowadays, believe me, Sumit, even if you send a request to anyone in this 2 to 3 months, people become more comfortable and more approachable. They will accept the request.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, what do you do with after that is more important.
Right.
So don't be shy. Okay, just go ahead and do it. Okay, that's how it happens. And after that, you need to start your conversation. Okay, fine. I'm looking for advice. I'm looking for a job. Okay, that can start a little late. Okay, I got into a problem. I'm looking for some issues over there, some input over there. Okay, and I want you to do XYZ for me, which is some kind of review or some kind of help. So people are ready to help you. They are able to acknowledge and always ensure this kind of people whom you are connecting, where they are. Okay, what they do, follow them. Okay, make sure you acknowledge their posts, acknowledge their messages. So when you connect with them, they will certainly remember. Oh, yeah, Sumit, I know. Oh, Sumit, you responded to my post.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's how Yeah, the recall value would be there. Okay, don't do intentionally, but if your intent is there, I need to connect with this guy, and I need to follow this. So you become either influencer for him, or you follow him like anything. Okay, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Today, like if you want to follow Dave Ulrich, you can just do that. Make sure you like, you retweet, you comments. See, and technology, Sumit, has really helped in a big way. Like in the message box, automatically there is a tab. Congrats. All the best and XYZ. Even you don't need to type actually. Many people don't even do that, putting effort to just press on that.
Right.
Yeah. So, but some people do it, and it's end of the day, we as a human being always look for acknowledgement, and people do that,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So jobs is definitely one thing which is being affected, and we have seen mass laying off which are happening in organizations, which is a very sad state. But even businesses are restricted to a lot of extent, and they cannot entertain everything because sustenance is obviously very important. So right now the job market has kind of inflated, and suddenly there are a lot of people for one particular position, like a hypothetical position. And what is happening is that, in fact, we have also seen that there's a lot of candidates who are coming in with a request for job. Actually, I just want to understand. So, from networking perspective, how should a person who is looking for a job should really approach the recruiter, or what is the power of referral in this case? Because reference is definitely something which every organization expects that people are doing. So, how should we go about the referral, and what is the right way of approaching the recruiters? If you can just throw some light on that.
Yeah. Okay, many people do the mistake, when you connect with someone, they directly, okay, I'm looking for a job. Okay.
Correct.
And nothing wrong, but the first impression is always first impression. Most of the time you lose the impression. Okay, never do that. now how to reach out to recruiter. Sumit, not only the recruiter, but anybody in the organization is a kind of decision maker, some or other way.
Right.
Okay, and if you decide these are the top 10 companies, who from this top 10 company they are on the social media,
Yeah.
where they are, what they are doing, when they do it. In the virtual world, timing is also very important.
Correct.
You notice, some people, they respond to their post or they do posting only during particular time,
That's right.
whether it's a WhatsApp, Twitter, LinkedIn and all, because everybody follow discipline,
Correct.
everybody has a time management also. So if you notice that and if you capture this, if you make a note of it, okay, go there, be there and see what that person is doing. Again, basic thing, acknowledge, follow, give the input, create a conversation. Sometimes you get into controversy, so that people remember, okay, you are the guy, but
Right.
make sure your point should be reasonably valid. It should be genuine. There has to be some kind of, not the takeaway, but there has to be some kind of logic. People will remember. Recruiters, see, most of the recruiters, they are not there on the social media because they don't get a time to be on the social media.
Correct. And this time definitely not.
They don't get a time. Even they are working on Saturday also.
Right.
Yeah. What they get a time to go through the CVs and all. Now you need to ensure how the CV can reach out to them.
Yeah.
So their basic thing one is to follow. Okay, one is go through the job posting, through the website, go through the job site. Glassdoor is nowadays catching up like anything,
Yeah.
Then go through the LinkedIn also. I mean, don't show too much of unsatisfaction that I need to openly reach out to someone on the LinkedIn. He posted something else, but you are posting I'm looking for a job and all. See, respect the relationship. People do. Once you build up some kind of rapport, and then separately you send a message. Okay, if you can help me, I like to have a conversation on XYZ point, and then do that. Wherever these people are there, whenever they are there, you just put your point over there. See, job is not only the last thing, or the first thing.
Right.
Anything, and it's not only that person will provide the job, because you don't know whether he has a position or not.
Correct. Okay, sure. So I think as you have just mentioned, I think discovering the right set of people in the organization and doing the fair bit of research about where you're applying, I think these two hold very critical points while you're doing virtually. At the same time, Ashish, if you can just throw some light on the power of referral as to how can one get referred to someone who he or she doesn't know. So there's an XYZ company which is a top 10 company in our country, but he has got no network there. However, he wants to approach them and he feels that he might be competent enough to crack an interview. So how should he get referred? If you can throw some light. Yeah.
So are you asking that, how somebody should try for the reference for the interview purpose or something else?
Yeah. So basically, as you mentioned, that getting connected to recruiters in itself is a difficult thing, right? But at the same time, there are a lot of people. So for example, if there's a marketing person and there's an AVP marketing, or there's a marketing manager or brand manager, you can also reach out to that person who can in turn be a hiring manager. And then there is another channel in which the person can really enter the organization. So just wanted to understand that how should one position himself or herself in getting referred to in the organization?
It's all blind actually, Sumit, to be very frank, If you do too much of research, you waste your time actually, And I didn't touch upon that, when you talk about the reference, when you talk about the, reaching out to the recruiter, the first thing one is to be sure, and one is to, do that guys, I'm available for the opening. Many people, they say, okay, it's very confidential, don't tell anyone, like this. In case you're looking for a job, tell the world.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. No company will fire you just because you are looking for a job.
Correct.
if you're looking for a job, even company is the first one who knows you're looking for a job.
Hmm.
There may be two ways. Your company is creating some kind of issues where you're looking for a job, or you want to go out because XYZ things didn't happen. So make sure people should know in the circle that you are looking for a job.
Right.
And once you do this, Sumit, believe me, somehow it can reach out to the recruiter community anyway. WhatsApp is the best example. Create a short message, put your contact detail, and just send a message.
Right.
People are really helpful nowadays. If you put it on one group, it will reach out to many groups.
Right.
After 6 months, it will same message may come back to you as well. Yeah. So referral play very important role. You need to understand. Okay, these are the people who can really do something. Yeah, but I think I will stick to the basic. Don't spend too much of time. Okay, I should reach out to XYZ. There are various ways you can directly connect with them, but make sure you build up a relationship over there. Understand, whether this person is approachable or not.
Yeah.
Many people they don't respond. Which kind of job you want to get into, which kind of level, it's also depend upon the level, whether senior, junior, middle level. You need to change your approach. You need to change your process over there. How do I connect and all. I mean, it's very tricky point as well. Some people, they go through the reference, and if sometime it didn't work, then guy said, okay, you gave me the reference, and that guy was not good. Please don't give me the reference. And that's why many people don't do that. If somebody is reaching out to me and saying, Ashish, can you refer me? And I know that guy is not good. Perhaps I may not refer.
Correct. Yeah. So that can be a better take.
So that's why what I mean to say, if I'm the guy looking for a job and I want you to refer me somewhere else, I need to build up a good reputation with you.
Yeah, right.
So that you should not hesitate. See whether I'm good or bad, that's a later on, that guy will judge.
Correct. Okay, great. So Ashish, as I mentioned earlier, that professional network, LinkedIn is something which we always go to. And it's our go-to place, and we try to project this professional look of ourselves on LinkedIn, which is also kind of little funny in itself, because you are different character on different social media channels. But let's say restricting to just LinkedIn, I think what happens is people who have been on LinkedIn for a long period of time, they might have started feeling a saturation which has been hit in that platform. So just wanted to understand as to how should you really approach the right people in terms of who is the right people according to anyone. So what are the elements a person should really see while he or she is trying to connect? So I understand for jobs you have to go to recruiters and likewise profiles, but in general, one day I just get a thought that I want to grow my network. Yeah. So how should I really go about growing my network? So understanding that, how should we really?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I lost you because there was some problem in voice. Can you repeat, Sumit?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that for LinkedIn is our go-to professional network, and for a lot of people, it is kind of becoming a saturation point where we want to do something else, and we really want to go to a very like-minded set of people. And that should not be from the similar organization. That should not be from the similar set of people I've been working with in other clients' office also. So how should one person really approach that thing of going beyond LinkedIn? How should we really touch going beyond LinkedIn? So what are the steps in that?
Okay, so see, any platform, Sumit, any platform, be it Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, it's all depend upon which kind of circle you are. Even in LinkedIn, there is a bad circle. Okay, and how the social media platform play is with whomsoever you are in touch, you will get to see only their post.
Yeah.
Correct. So if there are good people around you, you will get to see the good post, and if there are bad people, you will get to see the bad post.
Right.
Yeah. Twitter is another one. Like Twitter, if you follow some HR association, if you follow HR influencer, what you will get to see end of the day is all the good posts or some webinar invite or XYZ who has spoken. If you follow HR influencer, you'll see the report coming out, analysis coming out, right? Yeah. But if you follow someone else who is more politically, then you'll get to see all the hate comments and all, right? Yeah. And if you follow Bollywood community, if you follow, cricket community, you'll get to see different kind of posting over there. LinkedIn is become very famous only because, that's only the professional tool right now. It is, but Twitter is also there. Okay. And I would request people to be there Twitter as much as, they can be. They should post and, they should follow, acknowledge, because Twitter has a limitation of those 40 characters I really like, 140 character. Because when you respond something, when you try to post something, you should be very clear, in 140, am I giving the message?
Correct.
So beside LinkedIn, WhatsApp is another one. Okay, you can always, create a broadcast list and, communicate with people there and all the communication anywhere. You will not believe, Sumit, that the guy create WhatsApp group in the morning. In the evening, he decide which webinar should take place. Second day webinar happen with a good number of people. Yeah, and it's when I say good number, in the sense quality is also there. So WhatsApp is catching very fast, and everybody is there on the WhatsApp group. People not using even email part to invite someone. It's all happening through WhatsApp. Like platform, okay, no need to create registration form. Zoom is giving you automatic form. All the platform giving automatic form, right? So there are various positive part also. So coming back to this, Facebook is another one. Again, as I said, today if you decide I want to connect with this 20 people, out of 20, 15 are there in Facebook, go and send the request. Okay, and if they are HR influencer, HR association, you will get to see those kind of messages coming around. Don't restrict to only LinkedIn. Okay, world is beyond LinkedIn as well. Yeah, if you want to be more active, then Glassdoor is another one. There also you can interact a lot. There may be some other platform which I'm not aware, but I think I use mostly WhatsApp, then Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And then there are the groups within all this social platform.
Right, absolutely. All right. So before we go to the audience, and I request the audience that if you have got any question, you can just raise your hand. I can directly bring you on the platform to ask Ashish any question which you have. Before that, Ashish, I have one more question which was there in terms of networking. So growing your network is always a very exciting thing, right? We always want to meet new set of people, but in that entire journey, what happens is that you also end up meeting very probably some bad people also. So is there any way of weeding out or eliminating such people so that whenever you are networking or approaching any person, we know that okay, this person is going to be helpful to me professionally. We're just talking from a very professional perspective. How should we approach that?
How to avoid, you are asking this, right?
How to avoid that negativity around you and negative set of people who might be negative for you but might not be negative for someone else. But is there any way, is there any scientific manner in which we can go about elimination?
The only way, Sumit, I tell you, you increase the positiveness around you. Okay. If you want to avoid one negative guy, make sure you connect with 100 positive people.
Right.
What will happen end of the day? You are busy with those 100 people. Then actually one negative guy thinking about that.
Right.
And it's human being. We are all human being. The more we are busy with XYZ, we will forget other things. Right. So past is past. Some people, you don't care about it. But make sure if you leave the space and if you don't fill up, then that thing will anyway come to you.
Right.
You need to ensure you increase more positiveness around you, then negativity will be over anyway. Some people see in the networking, some people try to misuse your networking. your influence power, it's perfectly fine. It's all depend upon individual. You know, I have seen many people, they are shying away to share the contact with XYZ. But see, this virtual world is eliminate all these things. Today you can connect with anyone, and then people keep talking about the database. Database is easily available, Sumit. Like today, you get the LinkedIn Premium, you get the telephone number and email ID.
Right.
You buy the Naukri, you buy all the job site, you get the email ID and phone number. So everything is available. The most important is, what do you do with those?
Right.
That is the most important.
Right. Okay. Okay. So I have got. I've been starting getting questions. So one of the questions which we have already answered. Let me just go back to another question, which is about intra-organization networking. So this is an anonymous person. He's asking that. So outside the organization, things are very new, and it's not going to affect you professionally. But let's say we are doing an intra-organization networking where my organization is big, but I don't know who is the right set of people I should again go about networking in because it might affect me somewhere down the line in terms of my future in the organization. So how should we really approach that particular paradigm of intra-organization networking?
Okay, so I can take the example, the guy who's in Mumbai and want to connect somebody in Bangalore, right? The guy who's in Mumbai want to connect somebody in Singapore or London, right? Those kind of colleagues you want to connect, right?
Right.
So one is, the advantage of being in the organization, you already know the guy, at least by name. Okay, you have his email ID. Okay, company is giving you platform to connect. That's very easy. Now, what is stopping you to connect is your initiative, the purpose. Okay, in the organization you can build so many purpose actually. If guy is in some different department, you can always reach out to talk on something else. Or connect with that guy on social media.
Right.
Again, you start checking out where is he, what time he does XYZ, which kind of things he's more interested. You come back to the organization, then you talk about the social media post, acknowledgement, all. The guy will be happy. The guy may be unhappy also. Okay, the guy is kind of CCTV for me. He's checking what I do outside. So, but before that, all this R&D has to be done. Whether people like me is, whether am I open somebody to reach out to me or not?
Right.
And some people they maintain the professional limitation. Okay, they say, guys, you are junior for me, you are senior for me. Understand all the it's all organization politics in the companies. Relationship outside is different than the organization.
Right. I will request you that there's a question which is there in the Q&A tab by Alberto. So it's a long question. I don't want to.
Okay, I will read it. Don't worry. Okay, can we consider this pandemic accelerate to the rise of networking in the virtual world? Yeah, this is correct. Since it's also accelerate in the use of technology, do we have some qualification for person to be part of the network? Do we have some qualification? Okay. The qualification, I've been saying again and again, technology is there for us to connect. Okay. We have no option, only just be in touch with them virtually, right? What is the qualification is, the purpose again, the objective. Okay. If you don't have, create some, if you don't have, create some, be a part of some conversation. Okay. Either you show your expertise or, try to understand somebody expertise, try to get learning from them, or maybe you provide some learning, So qualification can only be what do you have to offer on the social media? Do you have anything to offer on social media? You provide. Okay, do you have anything to learn from social media or virtually? then get into those kind of activities. You know, there are a lot of webinars happening. Now, what I do, Sumit, you know, perhaps, you know, input for everyone.
Yeah.
In the webinar, you know, there are the speaker, right? Before you know who are the speaker, perhaps, you know, you just send a request, you know, and say, okay, looking forward to learn from you, and so and so.
Right.
They will be happy to, you know, say yes. Let me be connect with you. And then in case you genuinely listening to him, then you can send one note to him. It was great listening to you. Pick up one or two points, you know, which you remember from his session and say, okay, that point I really liked it.
All right.
It may be one, okay, you may be intentionally, but you know, the guy will appreciate.
There's another question on YouTube. There's an anonymous question which is there that with everything being virtual currently, how is the Grapevine network going to be once we are back into the system? How is the Grapevine communication and the flow, which was so prominent before COVID was there, which was a normal day? How is the new normal? How it is going to be in terms of Grapevine network? Will it be same? We will see something different kind of thing which will be happening, and how it will really impact my organization. So this is an HR manager who is asking this.
Okay, so see, I'm missing today, you know, going out, hanging around with the friend, you know, sitting with them, late night talk, you know, then after the event, and you know, the outside food and all, you know, different kind of things I'm missing, you know, because this is not allowing me to go out, you know. Perhaps, you know, after this, what will happen, you know, aggressively people will go out, okay, and try to fulfill their wishes, okay. But suddenly it will not happen, because, you know, all these things will take almost, you know, 3 to 6 months to come back in the normal. They will try to fulfill their wishes, okay. Some people will not be comfortable, some people will be comfortable. Back to the business will be tested, you know, it will be on pilot basis. So for example, if you do some conference, Sumit, and what if people don't come? Versus you do the conference same time virtually and people come. Because virtually there are a lot of advantage we have seen, you know. There are delegates who can come from, you know, out of your location. There are the speaker who can come from out of your location. So you are providing actually good package. You know, versus only the, okay, how was the dinner, how was the, you know, cocktail and all. Right? So everything is actually, you know, meaningless nowadays.
Right. Okay. So I request audience to raise their hands, or they can directly put their question in this. In the meantime, Ashir, I also had a couple of more things which I really wanted to discuss about this. Is so what has happened now is that when we are going into the virtual networking part, there has been a lot of social age networking which is happening. So let's say we go back 10 years from now, there was a lot of formalness which was about networking, and because of the social part, the entire dressing code has changed. Your entire non-verbal communication has changed. There is no, as you have mentioned, there's no body communication which can happen. So do you think that all what we heard about when it was the manufacturing age, and then we came out of that, then we came into digital age, now we are in the social age, are we becoming more informal, or are we becoming less professional, or there's a change in the definition of professionalism?
Okay, so I am saying, you know, we become more digitally. Okay, now imagine, you know, if I'm doing this as a physical gathering, you know, I'll be moving around, talking and looking at the faces. Versus, you know, sitting for 1 hour and just talking and looking at only 1 or 2 people.
Right.
So I'm also training myself to be part of this. Yeah. So what I want to convey is, you know, the social age point you are saying, right? So I just missed the old. What was the last point you said, Sumit?
Yeah. So basically, I asked that. So earlier, when you were dressing up, when you were getting to the office, you were very professional, right? So you say that you're not looking professional. So you're going for an interview, probably you are not.
Yes, got it. Okay. Now if you notice, Sumit, you know, there are people, you know, when they actually those who are part of the speaker, speaker list and community, they are properly dressed up. Some people actually they are wearing coat and tie. You'll not believe.
Correct.
Yeah. Only the difference is from the audience side.
Right.
Okay. How the audience is on the bed and just listening. No video up. Okay. I don't think so. That is the issue. Okay. Because it's just a temporary phase. I mean, not every time it would be like this. I have seen many companies they are saying, guys, 9 to 5 is the job time. Okay, make sure you be there on the time. Make sure you be properly dressed. Even some of the school I have seen, Sumit, they said, kids, please be there in the dress. Yeah, it's all. I think it's more to do with self-discipline and time management. I would say more to do with self-discipline and which kind of image you want to build up. It's okay. I mean, I'm wearing a t-shirt, you're wearing a shirt, but end of the day, what is the objective? Whether I'm giving a message, what you're looking for, audience looking for is more important. Then they will ignore everything actually.
Correct. So
there is one question from Alberto. Let me read it whether I answer on it. So he's asking, how could I know that person I'm meeting and talking with?
We've already taken up.
Okay, we already taken. Okay.
Ashutosh, he has raised his hand, so I'm just bringing him on the platform so that I can directly ask the question.
Yeah, sure.
Ashutosh, you are there, so. Ashutosh, can you listen? Can you hear?
Ashutosh, you need to unmute.
I think we've lost him.
Ashutosh, you can type the question otherwise.
Yeah.
At least, so let him come back, At least we as a corporate professional, Sumit, 50% we are ready with this new normal.
Right.
Imagine the student community, imagine the teachers community, imagine the kids community, It's completely new for them. And everything in virtual is kind of relationship. Like if I join today and you are my boss, I'm just seeing you today. Okay. Am I able to talk to you after 1 or 2 hour conversation? I don't know.
Correct.
So those kind of skill sets somebody really need to build up. Virtually also it is more important, what you do is after a webinar, after the conversation and call is also more important.
I'm just putting it again. I think there is some problem with network. Ashutosh. Okay. In the meantime, there's another person who raised his hand. I am bringing. Yeah. So I am bringing SG. His full name is not there, so you can ask.
Yeah. Hi. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I hope. Yeah. Great. Hi. Good evening, Ashish. Hi, Sumit.
Hi.
So, Ashish, I know you are a great networker and you run communities of 15,000, 20,000 professionals, networking with them. So what's the secret sauce of being such a successful networker? Meaning like, so what matters? Is it, let's say, the intent to do networking, or is it also an inner confidence to be able to share something meaningful to the group so that they would, let's say, value you within their group, or there is a value that they can see. So like, what are those top 2 or 3 things from a mindset perspective that make you such a successful networker that I could learn from? Thank you.
Okay, so the good question. I mean, see, what I have got the feedback also. I will share that I'm not the shy person to share the detail of anybody whom I know. Okay. So, for example, if you say, okay, do you know that guy? I will say, yes, I know that guy. I can get you connected. Okay. What you do with him, and after that, it doesn't matter. And And there is a time, when you're such a huge network. Again, as I said, Sumit, what do you do with the network is more important. If you have 15,000 connect, what you're doing with them. So there are two things. One is, make sure this 15,000 people are available for XYZ help, available for input. They should get a platform where they can share something, so that they remember that there's a platform, I'm getting under this HR Shaper and XYZ. Another most important thing is, what was the point I was saying?
About using the network effectively.
Yeah. So that I already shared. There's some kind of platform you need to create. Even if so many people, there is a platform where they come together and talk to each other, and that's how that's built up. The moment you stop your networking and keeping only with you, then you are not considered networker. So why somebody will say he is good networker? Because okay, he knows XYZ and I can get one person connected through him. That's how it happened. I know 10,000, 15,000 people. There is a platform over there. I'm creating them. People are coming together, sharing something. Your agenda has to be very clear. Okay, guys, this is for XYZ purpose. Okay, please come here, do XYZ. At the same time, there has to be multiple channels of gathering, multiple channels of connecting with each other. It's not only like there is a WhatsApp group. There has to be kind of webinar. There has to be then a social media platform like other social media like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Your group member should also be getting some privilege. Since you are one of the networkers, they should be getting some privilege. Okay, am I able to get some very good guy who can share the knowledge with this 15,000 people? Or are there people within this 15,000 who can share the knowledge with each other? I mean, you need to understand the value of those 15,000 also. There are many things available, within your community, within your group, which you can utilize.
So, I hope that answers your question. Yeah. So there is another question which is there, and I think we've got limited time also. Mahesh has asked a question, Ashish, that he says that so when we are connecting virtually, we don't know about what is the mood, what is the mindset of the person, what are his interests, which situation he is in, and then we approach with something which can be totally out of the context. It might just be very derogatory also. So is there any right step-by-step process of networking for who are very, very unknown person in the virtual world?
Yeah. So decide, for what purpose you want to connect with someone. Okay. When is available? Where is available? Okay. And when I say purpose, in the sense, are you looking for some expertise from him, or you want to provide some expertise with XYZ? Start following up. Acknowledge that person post message and all. Make sure that you make yourself visible before actually you put your final point. So that it's like Sumit, you say recall value has to be there. The more important is what you do, how you do is not more important. When you do is more important.
Right. Correct.
Body language and all other things is different thing, because most of the time, like in LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, you don't know actually who's the behind, how does it look like and all. Though you can see the photo, other than webinar and all. Mood is all like you want to connect with someone right now and he suddenly posts, he is posting one message on LinkedIn. Which kind of message is there on the LinkedIn is more important, and you go out of the way and you talk to him something opposite. Because he's busy with the posting and he's replying to that post, and you suddenly talk out of the way. So I mean, some R&D has to be done. Correct. But don't think too much. Just do some and then see.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think we have we've reached almost the time. So before and we don't have any questions, I think actually. So before we kind of wrap up this session, I have.
There is one Amit asking something. What would you recommend is some important read for networking?
Yeah.
I have never read any book actually. Amit, the more you there on the field, the more you there on the social media, the more you there part of the meeting, gathering, webinar, talk show, and from there how you take it up is more important. With whom you want to connect, define your purpose, intent has to be very clear, and then utilize that relationship beyond. I don't think so there is any book I can recommend right now.
So okay, so there's this last thing which I just wanted to ask, which is there. So before you give your last words in this webinar, so we have mentioned a lot about what to do, about going about networking, what everything about networking. My questions is very anti. I just want to understand what are the don'ts when you do networking. So if you can just give us quick summary of 1, 2, 3 points which are don'ts, like absolutely don't. It's going to absolutely delete you. The person will delete you. So what are the don'ts when we are networking with someone in this virtual world?
What we should not do, you are saying, right?
What we should not do, absolutely no need.
Okay, that's very difficult question. Let me try to answer what we should not do when we do networking.
Right.
You see, everybody has a hidden agenda. Okay, don't show your hidden agenda first time. Everybody has hidden agenda. Whenever you talk to somebody, don't show your hidden agenda. Okay, make sure you are approachable. Okay, I can put it in other way that don't show that you are not approachable.
Right.
Yeah. Other way around, I can say, that okay, feel free to reach out to me any point of time. Don't create a blockage that where somebody, you are trying to communicate. Okay, guys, you are meeting me now, and I'm not available, and don't try to reach out to me. Don't show those kind of things. We have seen many people saying, okay, please connect me. And the people share openly their contact detail, their email ID. Then some people they say connect with me in LinkedIn. So some people give the cell number as well. So these are 2-3 things I can say. Don't show your hidden agenda first time. Don't show up that you are not approachable.
Correct.
Okay. Try to build up a relationship. That's how I can say.
Great. All right, Ashish, I think it has been quite a lot which we have got in the last 1 hour about networking, and it was great having you on the platform. And to all the audience also, thank you for joining in. And Ashish, we are looking forward to your other webinars, and also in very near future we would like to host you again with another topic where you can share your insights. So any last words you would like to give to our audience, Ashish?
So guys, we are in virtual world and it has to be continue. Okay, because of the cost part also, money part also, this is playing very important role, and people will use it always. Whether it's a company or outside the company, everything is going to be virtually. What we were talking about is future of work, which is supposed to happen after 1 year, 2 years, which is happening now. Many of us have done it. Just make sure how you can be more digital savvy. Okay. I was seeing one video, it is circulated on social media. End of the day, guy says, okay, make sure you have good Wi-Fi connection. Forget everything.
Absolutely.
Whether you are attendee or whether you are a speaker, whether you are XYZ, if you don't have this, so your infrastructure, logistic at your home or wherever is going to play a very important role. So make sure you build up that, because like I'm talking to you, I need to ensure nobody is coming around me. Okay, I may be living with my family, without my family, it doesn't matter, but I need to ensure. So those kind of there are 2-3 quotient: emotional quotient, intelligent, and XYZ, right? Now the digital quotient has come.
That's an absolute right.
Virtual etiquettes, digital etiquettes, these are the things very important. And people are open nowadays because this pandemic and COVID has made more people as a human being. People are open to share everything they want to share. One of the best thing I can say, what had happened in this COVID, many companies sharing their own policies, which was supposed to be secret. We have seen lot of SOP of okay, how to resume operation. They are there in the market openly, which was not there the case earlier.
Correct. All right. Great insight, Ashish, and thank you for coming on our platform. And so, on that note, I would thank everyone who has attended the webinar. And the feedback form would also be sent on your mail, and you can see the edited version of this webinar very soon on our YouTube. So, thank you, Ashish, and have a good night.
Yeah, good night. SG, we can talk on this number I just posted because he was asking some question.
Sure.
I just share my number. Yeah.
Sure.
Hello, thanks, Amit. I think it was kind of conversation. So it's a good conversation. Good to hear, and because it is something different topic, And
all the webinars we are single-handedly speaking, so it's
Yeah.
a little difference.
Yeah, even I did learn, in last 1 hour, a lot of things, Great.
Thank
Thanks, Sumit, and thanks everyone. Thanks for your time. Bye bye. Take care.
you. Bye.